So, good evening, everyone. We are Group 9 and we are here to present our group report on translation and interpreting in research. So, this topic is essential in ensuring accurate and meaningful cross linguistic communication, especially in academic and professional settings. Today, we will discuss the evolutions of translation studies, the role of translators and interpreters, contemporary challenges in the field, and ethical consideration. Our goal is, so let's proceed to serve for the first reporter.
Good evening. I am Rio Bermudez, and for the introduction of our topic about translation and interpreting, presented by Group 9. So, the definition of translation is a manipulation of written video or electronic text by humans or machine. Interpreting is a real time communication of spoken or signed languages either face to face or remotely. So, for the introduction of translation and interpreting, so the role of translation and interpreting enable communication across the different linguistic backgrounds through written, video, electronic text translation, and or sign languages in real time interpreting. So, the next one is historical context. The translation traces back to Cicero's times, interpreting referred to as the time world's second oldest profession. So the interdisciplinary influence, translation and interpreting, influenced by various disciplines, including bilingual and multilingualism, cognitive psychology, cultural studies, educational linguistics, linguistics, anthropology, psycholinguistics, and sociology of language. The last one is the growth of translation and interpreting. Translation and interpreting also influenced by various disciplines, including bilingualism and multilingualism, cognitive psychology, cultural studies, educational linguistics, linguistics, anthropology, psycholinguistics, and sociology of linguistics.
Good evening, everyone. Today I will be discussing key concepts in translation studies, focusing on its initial foundations and contemporary issues in translation and interpreting. Let's begin with how translation studies first developed. So the first one, equivalence and faithfulness. Initial discussions focus on maintaining faithfulness to the source text. This means that early translation theories emphasize the importance of staying as close as possible to the original text in meaning, style, and structure. Example, a great example in this is the Bible translation, which is the early translators aim for word accuracy to preserve the religion's significance. The next one, emphasis was on the product rather than the process. This means that success of a translation was judged based on how accurately it reflected the original work. The process or challenges faced by translators were not the main concern. For example, classic literary works were translated with a focus on precision rather than considering how readable or engaging they were for modern audiences. So as translations studies evolved, scholars started questioning whether strict faithfulness was always the best approach. So this led to a shift toward a more functional perspective. Focusing only on accuracy, translators began adapting text to fit the context and needs of the target audience. For example, in advertising, slogans are often adopted rather than translated directly. For example, for McDonald's, their slogan i- is "I'm loving it" was translated into Chinese as "just like it" because it make it more culturally relevant for them. The next one, functionalist approach, focuses on the purpose of the text, which is according to Nord 1997. So instead of prioritizing direct translation, this approach considers the purpose and function of the text in the target culture. And for the last one, for reader response theory complements this approach. This means that this theory emphasizes how the audience interprets and reacts to the translation. To
So
be
we discuss the goals of ethics and translation and interpreting. Message converter, which equates the conduit model discussed on page 5. Message clarifier includes gaining more information from a speaker to explain a message or concept in an alternate or more easily understood manner to facilitate communication. The next is cultural clarifier involves confirming and providing cultural information, particularly about cultural health beliefs. So we need to practice the other culture, and so we can translation. The next is the fourth rule. Patient advocate prohibited for the court interpreter may be required in the healthcare setting to support the health and well-being of the patient. So we can to communicate the other culture on how to speak the language, and that's all. The next report there.
This evening is technological development. So first, for interpreting multimodal and remote interpreting is an example by using different platforms of videos and audio communication, users of language of limited diffusion or from remote areas or sign language user can access services in more efficient way. For translation, in addition to machine translation or CAT tools, social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Google Translate provides another example of how technology has impacted to translation. Social media has enabled crowdsourcing and volunteer and collaborating translation. So example, multimodal interpreting video, remote interpreting, phone interpreting, and video conferencing. Second, remote interpreting, remote stimulation and interpretation, remote consecutive interpretation. Third, machine translation using Google Translate, Microsoft Translator, CAT tools, Memo, WordFast, and social media and crowd resourcing like using Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and platforms like Translator without borders. And the use of this is to improve accessibility and multimodal and remote interpreting enable user with limited mobility or language barriers to access services.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Nesline. Our topic is challenges and controversial issues in theory and practice. The need to critical research with the practical application and DNI education and practice. Tension between practitioner, teacher, and researcher in the field. Next, education of translation and interpreter. Designing curriculum based on practical experience versus sound pedagogy. Importance of integrating research-based education for the future TNI professional assessment of competences, current assessment, method are focused on cognitive and linguistic skill, need to include interpersonal, social, and ethical skill, and DNI assessment for a comprehensive evaluation. Next, professionalization and status. Translator and interpreter often the face insecure, marginalized, and ambivalent status in the profession. Challenges and achieving recognition and professional standard with the DNI community. Next, role identity. Ongoing a debate about the role and responsibilities of translator and interpreter. Recon- Recognition of translator interpreter as an agent of change and their visibility in the professional. So that's all. Thank you.
Topic is about interdisciplinary collaboration, which is when people from different disciplines work together to achieve a common goal. So this can involve integrating different perspectives and areas of expertise like problem solving, innovation, and in the research. So in problem solving, interdisciplinary collaboration can help solve complex problems by combining the strength of different disciplines. In innovation, interdisciplinary collaboration can help create innovative solutions and develop new approaches. In research, interdisciplinary collaboration can help develop research frameworks that can go beyond the boundaries of individual disciplines. So the next one is technological development and research, which refers to the process of using advanced technologies and tools to enhance the capabilities and efficiency of research activities. So it allows the researchers to collect and analyze and interpret the data more effectively, often leading to new discoveries and innovations across the various scientific fields. So it includes advancements like artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data analysis, and automotive lab equipment and advanced imaging techniques, which can significantly impact research methodologies and outcomes. So there are the key points about the technological development and research. It can improve data collections and enhance data analysis. So the next one is the sociological aspect, exploring the roles of translators and interpreters in culture. It affects of reader perspectives and cross-cultural interactions. So, a sociological perspective research paper which examines a social phenomenon through the lens of sociology. It focuses on how social structures, institutions, and social interactions influenced by individual behavior and social issues rather than solely attributing the events to individual choices. And there are also key aspects of sociological perspective research in paper. The first one is focused on social structures. The other one is beyond the individual agency and the theoretical framework. The last one is the technological development, which addressing the ethics in digital translation and online collaboration and impact of social media and new tech on TIS. So a research topic related to the language and identity could explore how language shapes and reflect on the individual's identity, including the aspect like cultural heritage, ethnicity, gender, and social class. It can be shown in the next uh, slides. That's all. Thank you.